3 days after the funeral, Marama was already redecorating the master bedroom. New curtains, new bed. She told the staff, "We must move forward." It's what Khalifa would have wanted. Ibrahim had taken over the company office. New nameplate on the door. Ibrahim K. Sadab, chairman and CEO. He held meetings, signed papers, transferred funds. But small things started to go wrong. A board member asked, "Ibrahim, your father had started an audit. Did he finish it?" Ibrahim smiled smoothly. Father was not well. He canceled it. The board member nodded, but his eyes lingered a second too long. At the same time, whispers began in the staff quarters. Isada said something at the funeral. She said he was still alive. She's gone now. They sacked her the same night. Marama heard the whispers. She called the head of security. Find her. Bring her back. Quietly. They searched. Her village in Sagamu. Her old contacts. Nothing. Isada had vanished. But she hadn't gone far. She was living in a small room in Ajij. One room. Shared bathroom. She worked as a cleaner in a small hotel during the day. At night, she read Khalifa's letter again and again. She waited. 1 week after the funeral, Zainab did something no one expected. She went to the cemetery alone. At midnight, she sat in front of her father's grave. No flowers. No tears. Just silence. Then she spoke. Softly. As if he could hear. "Father, if you're really gone, why do I feel like you're watching?" She stayed there for 2 hours. Then she left. But she didn't go home. She went to Ajij. Knocked on a certain door. Isata opened it. Eyes wide. Zainab?
Imagine this. A glittering ballroom in downtown Chicago. Crystal chandeliers sparkling like diamonds. Champagne towers that could feed a small army. Hundreds of corporate elites in tuxedos and gowns, toasting record profits. And right in the middle of it all, a pregnant woman stands alone, dripping dirty mop water from her face, hair, and maternity dress. Her husband just dumped an entire bucket of filthy cleaning water on her in front of everyone. His mistress is laughing hysterically. His entire family is smirking like they've won some sick game. Her name is Sophia Reynolds, 6 months pregnant. And what no one in that room knows, including the man who just publicly humiliated her, is that she owns the entire company. Every salary, every promotion, every luxury they're enjoying comes from her. This is the story of the ultimate betrayal. The night a cheating husband and his entitled family thought they could destroy a loser wife, only to discover she'd been the queen all along. It's about karma that hits harder than any bucket of dirty water. About the power of staying silent until the perfect moment. And about a woman who finally stops protecting people who never deserved it. Before we dive in, if you love stories of sweet revenge, hidden power, and justice served cold, smash that subscribe button right now and drop in the comments. I'm watching from your city/state. Let's see how many of us are here for this ride. It started 3 weeks earlier at 3:12 a.m. in their luxury penthouse overlooking Lake Michigan. Sophia's phone lit up on the nightstand. A text from her husband, Ethan. "Can't stop thinking about last night. You screaming my name is all I need. See you tomorrow, baby." Except the text wasn't for her. It was for Chloe, his 26-year-old assistant, the one he'd been mentoring for months. Sophia stared at the glowing screen, heart hammering. She'd suspected for a while. The late nights, the sudden business trips, the way he'd stopped touching her the moment her belly started showing. But seeing it in black and white, that was a knife twist. She didn't cry. Not then. She'd built a multi-billion-dollar tech empire from nothing, starting with a garage idea in college, turning it into a SaaS giant that every Fortune 500 company used. She learned early, tears don't build companies. Strategy does. 5 years ago, she met Ethan at a coffee shop near the courthouse. He was handsome, charming, a sales guy with big dreams, but no capital. She was celebrating her latest acquisition, anonymously. She told him she was just an admin assistant, because she learned the hard way. Men love successful women, as long as they're not more successful. Ethan proposed 6 months later with a sweet, modest ring, and promises of building a life together. Sophia said yes and kept her secret. She hired him at her rival company, which she secretly owned, through back channels. His resume was solid. She watched him climb, associate to senior director, because she quietly approved every raise, every bonus. Then came the family. Ethan's mom, Diane, needed a job after early retirement. Sophia approved her as head of operations. His brother, Tyler, wanted sales. Approved. His sister, Brooke, marketing genius on paper. Approved. All of them earned six-figure salaries, stock options, luxury perks, because Sophia wanted Ethan to feel like a self-made man. She wanted him to love her for her, not her money. What a fool she'd been. Now, pregnant with her first child, she watched him build a life with Chloe. The text got worse. Photos. Plans for weekends away. And the worst part? Ethan started treating her like she was invisible. Like she was the burden. Like she was the loser who trapped him with a baby. Sophia made a decision that night. She wouldn't leave quietly. She wouldn't beg. She'd wait for the annual gala, the biggest night of the year, mandatory for all execs and families. Ethan had already told her, "I'm bringing someone special. Don't wait up." She'd go, but not as the quiet wife. As the owner who'd finally had enough. Build suspense. Fast forward to gala night. The grand ballroom at the Peninsula Hotel. Ice sculptures of the company logo. Seafood towers. A live orchestra. 400 employees toasting visionary leadership, never knowing the visionary was the pregnant woman hiding in the shadows. Sophia entered through the service door, wearing a simple black maternity gown that hid her power. She watched Ethan arrive on the red carpet, Chloe glued to his arm in a tight red dress, posing for photos like she owned the place. His family swarmed him. Diane kissing his cheek, Tyler slapping his back, Brooke filming for Instagram. They laughed. They toasted. They acted like royalty in a kingdom Sophia built. Then Chloe spotted her. A whisper to Ethan. His face changed, surprise, then rage. He muttered something ugly, grabbed a maintenance bucket full of gray, chemical-laced mop water from the service hall. The family followed, smirking, phones out. Ethan stopped 3 feet away. "You shouldn't have come here," he snarled. "You don't belong." Then he lifted the bucket. The water hit like a slap from hell, cold, stinging, soaking her hair, running down her face, staining her dress over her pregnant belly. Chloe's laugh echoed like breaking glass. Diane clutched her pearls in fake shock. Tyler filmed. Brooke whispered to co-workers, "What a pathetic loser." The room froze. 400 people staring. No one moved to help. Why would they? Ethan was senior director. His family ran half the departments. This dripping woman? Nobody. Ethan dropped the bucket. Clang. That's what you get for showing up where you don't belong. Silence. Pure, electric silence. Sophia wiped her eyes slowly. Tasted cleaner on her lips. Felt the baby kick, protective instinct surging. Then, in a voice quiet but clear enough to cut through the room. "Security." The nearest guard blinked, confused. "Call Jennifer from HR. Call James from legal. Tell them Sophia Reynolds needs them in the ballroom. Now." Ethan laughed. Harsh, disbelieving. "Sophia Reynolds? You don't get to drop names here. You're nothing." The guard hesitated, then spoke into his radio. And somewhere in the back, the orchestra stopped playing. But what happens when the truth drops like a bomb? When Ethan realizes the woman he just humiliated owns every inch of this empire, including his job, his family's jobs, his entire life. If you're ready for the revenge that will leave them crushed, stay tuned. Hit like, subscribe, and comment karma incoming. We'll pick up right where this leaves off. Welcome back. If you missed part 1, go watch it now, because what happens next is the moment 400 people will never forget. The ballroom was dead silent. Dirty water still dripped from Sophia's chin onto the marble floor she literally owned. Ethan stood there smirking, arm around Chloe. His family circled like wolves who thought they'd just taken down easy prey. The security guard lowered his radio. "Mom, Jennifer and James are on their way." Ethan rolled his eyes. "This is ridiculous. Who even are you?" Sophia looked at him, really looked, at the man she'd loved, the man she protected, the man who'd chosen cruelty over gratitude. Then she spoke, voice steady. "I'm the owner of this company." A ripple of confusion through the crowd. Ethan laughed louder. "Yeah, right. Nice try." But Jennifer, HR director, and James, general counsel, pushed through the crowd. Both looked at Sophia with instant recognition and concern. "Ms. Reynolds," Jennifer said softly, "are you okay? We need to get you cleaned up." The room exploded in whispers. "Ms. Reynolds? Owner?" Ethan's smirk faltered. "Wait, what?" Sophia raised a hand. "Everyone, please. I like the lights up." And someone turned on the main screen. The chandeliers brightened. A massive projector screen lowered behind the champagne fountain. Sophia's phone, waterproof, thank God, connected wirelessly. She pulled up a single file. A company org chart appeared. At the very top, Sophia Reynolds, founder and sole owner. Below it, the board, her proxies, then departments, and every name in Ethan's family highlighted in green. Approved by owner 5 years ago. Gasps. Phones dropping. Mouths open. Sophia continued calmly. 5 years ago, I met Ethan. I fell in love. And I made a mistake. I hid who I was. I wanted him to love me, not my success. So I hired him, promoted him, hired his mother, brother, sister, gave them everything because I thought family mattered. She looked at Ethan. "You took that love, and you turned it into contempt." The screen changed. Text messages, photos, Chloe's explicit replies, audio clips of Ethan bragging. "My wife's just a boring, pregnant nobody. Chloe gets me." Chloe turned white. Tried to run. Security blocked the doors. Ethan stammered. This is private." Sophia's voice hardened. "You made it public when you poured dirty water on your pregnant wife in front of 400 employees." She turned to the crowd. "I've stayed silent for years. Watched this family treat my company like their personal piggy bank. Inflated salaries, fake reviews, nepotism. I allowed it because I loved him." Her hand went to her belly. "But this child will never grow up thinking betrayal is acceptable." The screen flipped again. Termination letters, pre-drafted. Effective immediately. Ethan, Diane, Tyler, Brooke, you're fired. For cause. Gross misconduct. Evidence has been forwarded to authorities for fraud investigation. Ethan lunged forward. "You can't do this. I'll sue." James stepped up. "Actually, Mr. Carter, the employment contracts you signed, they include morality clauses. Public humiliation of the owner, that qualifies." Security moved in, escorted them toward the exits. Chloe sobbed. "I didn't know." Sophia looked at her. "You knew he was married. You knew I was pregnant. Choices have consequences." As the family was marched out, Ethan screaming threats, Diane crying, Tyler begging, Brooke filming until her phone was taken, Sophia addressed the room one last time. "I'm not doing this for revenge. I'm doing it for integrity. For every employee who works hard and plays fair. For my child, who deserves better than a father who chooses cruelty." She paused. "And for every woman who's ever hidden her power to make a man feel big, you don't have to anymore." The room erupted in applause. Not polite, thunderous. Sophia walked out, head high, water still dripping, but unbreakable. Months later, the company thrived more than ever. Sophia gave birth to a beautiful daughter. Named her Grace, because grace under fire is the ultimate power. Ethan? He tried to fight the firing. Lost everything. Last anyone heard, he was working retail. Chloe ghosted him. The family scattered. Entitlement doesn't survive without a golden ticket. Karma isn't always loud. Sometimes it's quiet until it roars. The lesson? Never underestimate a woman who stays silent. She's probably planning something you'll never see coming. If this story hit you hard, like, subscribe, share with someone who needs to hear it. Comment below. What would you have done in Sophia's shoes? Thanks for watching. Stay strong. Stay powerful. And remember, your worth isn't defined by who tries to break you. It's defined by how you rise. The applause didn't stop for almost 5 minutes. 400 employees, people who'd spent years under the shadow of Ethan's family, stood on their feet. Not out of fear, not out of obligation, out of pure, raw respect. Sophia Reynolds stood there, still dripping dirty water, hand protectively on her belly, but her posture? Unbreakable, like a statue that had finally decided to step off the pedestal and remind everyone who carved it. Security had already escorted Ethan, Chloe, Diane, Tyler, and Brooke out through the service exit, the same one Sophia had used to enter quietly hours earlier. The irony wasn't lost on anyone. Ethan's last words, as they dragged him away, "This isn't over. I'll sue you for everything. You'll regret this." Sophia didn't even look back. She just turned to the room and said, calm as ever, "Tonight was supposed to be a celebration of our success. Let's make sure it still is. But from now on, success built on honesty, on merit, on respect." She nodded to the orchestra. They started playing again, something uplifting, almost cinematic. The champagne started flowing once more. But the energy had changed. The air felt lighter, cleaner, because the parasites were gone. Pause. Let the moment sink in. In the weeks that followed, the fallout was swift and merciless. First came the legal filings. Sophia's team didn't just fire them. They documented everything. The nepotism, the fake performance reviews she herself had ignored for years, the misuse of company funds for family vacations disguised as team building, the inflated bonuses Ethan approved for his brother and sister. The SEC got involved when they discovered stock. Options had been backdated. Fraud, embezzlement, all of it traceable. Ethan tried to fight the termination in court. He hired a flashy lawyer, screamed about wrongful dismissal, defamation, emotional distress. The judge looked at the evidence, texts, audio.